Greetings! I know that most of you are very excited that you have made it to week 5 in this research course. Hopefully this week will be less stressful for you as we study more details about validity and reliability, and we learn how to analyze and report qualitative research. The part of your research proposal that is due this week is the tabulation of the results. This includes draft findings and preliminary reflections. Depending on whether you chose to do qualitative or quantitative research, tabulations may or may not be present. If you've been submitting the required elements of your research each week, you are right on target. If not, I encourage you to step up the pace just a little bit. Remember that you may modify your proposal by polishing, refining, adding, and changing anything up until you submit your final project in week 7. Chapter 9 focuses on validity and reliability for both qualitative and quantitative research. Validity is the most important consideration in developing and evaluating measuring instruments. Although it's been defined in the past as the extent to which an instrument measures what it is supposed to measure, recent views of validity are based not on the instrument itself, but on the interpretation and meaning of the scores actually derived from the instrument. Gathering evidence to support a particular interpretation of test scores is called validation. The 3 types of evidence that may be gathered are described in your textbook, and they are, first, content-related evidence, second, criterion-related evidence, and thirdly, construct-related evidence. Table 9.2 on page 235 in your text gives a very nice overview of the different types of validation. A concern in validity studies of educational tests is the extent to which evidence of validity based on test criterion relationships can be generalized to new settings. Research shows that test criterion correlations may vary greatly from time to time and place to place because of the type of criterion measure used, the way the predictor is measured, the type of test taken, and the time period involved. You may have vastly different correlations, for example, if your students are English language learners or special needs students. Remember that no test is valid for all purposes or in all situations. Reliability of tests would be the degree to which they are consistent from time to time. It is concerned with the effective error on consistency of scores. Errors may be either random or systematic. A measuring instrument can be reliable without being valid, but it cannot be valid unless it is first reliable. To determine reliability, you may want to use the test and retest method, equivalent forms of the test, or one of several internal consistency procedures that requires only a single administration of one form of a test. Formulas for reliability coefficients and the standard error of measurement are demonstrated in Chapter 9. In your text in Chapter 17, it is described how you actually analyze and report on qualitative research. Typically, qualitative research results in a large amount of data. Therefore, it's important to organize it and compare it in order to find connections and common themes. Interpretation then becomes a matter of personal activity where the researcher explains the meaning of the data and how or why the information is important. Qualitative research reports are written differently from quantitative, but many of the same components are covered. Both pose research questions, connect the research to the literature, describe methods of collecting and analyzing data, present findings, and discuss the implications of the study. However, qualitative research does not typically have as many statistical charts as quantitative studies. But your research proposal will have all the elements that are described in Chapter 17. I know this course is overwhelming. It is very difficult to learn all you need to know about research in just 7 weeks. However, this is a course that is meant to be an overview course, and it will provide a good foundation on which you can build in the future. God bless you this week. Let me know if you have questions.